Hello, everyone. As you can see, I'm back up and standing. Unfortunately, I have been placed in a walking boot for another month, but 2 weeks I should be able to at least take it off a little bit during the day. So right now I'm only able to wear yoga pants. So you're going to get video from the waist up this time. Hopefully in a couple weeks it'll be from the toes to my head. Today I'm going to tell you the story about how I got into the situation where I'm at right now with my walking boot. 2 years ago, we bought our first house. Very exciting for us. We decided to have a housewarming party, invited some of our closest friends over to see the house and hang out, just have a relaxing evening. That relaxing evening took a turn when I decided that I didn't want to wear my shoes anymore, and my pants, which had been able to stay above my shoe, got caught under my heel. I walked from carpet into my kitchen area, which is very slick tile, and I slipped. When I slipped, I landed really funny. My feet were all out, funny. I splayed out. It was just terrible. I laughed it off. It was funny. I will admit it was hilarious. However, the next morning it was not as hilarious because my foot was extremely swollen. It was about this big. I couldn't fit it into a shoe. I had to wear a slipper just to go to an emergency clinic for them to do some x-rays. When they did x-rays, they said that they had to send them off. We'd had a really terrible storm the weekend leading up to that anyway. They'd knocked power out. It knocked AC units off top of the houses. It was terrible. And so I was just told to be patient. They'd send it off in a couple of days. And when they sent it off, they let me know. They wrapped my foot in a bandage pretty tight, told me to ice it. They gave me some pain meds and said, just elevate it, don't walk on it. Well, that was a little difficult because I just got a new job, my first HR job, and so explaining that to them was a little bit difficult, but they were very understanding about it. Driving, very difficult when you can't really go anywhere. So finally, x-ray results came in. They saw nothing. They sent me to a specialist because I was still having problems with it. Specialist made me do PT. He made me go into a hard walking cast. He made me go into a walking boot. And this went on for months. So this happened in early March. And by July, he decided that we'd really maxed out all we could do. He was going to have to break down and do surgery. So we did surgery on my right ankle, and what he did was he went in just to scope it, and so we'll just demonstrate here on my hand here. He went in on the outside of my ankle on both sides, just a little incision on both sides, and he ended up removing a ligament. I was surprised because that was not what I was originally told was going to happen. So things got a little better. I did some physical therapy, was finally able to be back in a tennis shoe by September of that year. I was in a tennis shoe for 1 week before I had to go back into a hard cast. My shoe would not fit on my foot. I was just having difficulties walking. It was awful. So I did more physical therapy. I did more time in the cast, time in a boot. And finally he said, okay, I'm going to be honest with you, I messed up. I was surprised. Doctor admitting that he did something wrong. So he said, we have to do another surgery, but it has to be 6 months out from your original surgery date. So I had to put up with it for a little bit longer, and we were finally able to do my second surgery in January of 2016. This time he turned around and he had to cut out some of the nerves in my foot and ankle and bury them in my bone. So demonstration again, he cut up from about the ankle bone all the way up, I'd say about 7 inches is what we decided, up my leg. And I ended up with 20 staples in my leg. I cannot feel my foot. I cannot do some things. I have some limited range, but that was about 2 weeks no walking, and then 2 weeks in a walking boot, and then I was fine. No physical therapy. Everything was great. Went back to work. I was excited because one of the joking things that I had with my doctor was, hey, I'm getting married in October 2016. I don't want to be in a boot or a cast. I don't think you guys have any colors to match my wedding colors. So we were good, but about the time of my wedding, my foot did start hurting again. And I held off until my wedding was over. I wanted to wear my 5-inch stiletto heels. That was a big deal to me. And as soon as the wedding was done, I did go into the doctor, and he said, yep, it's not going well. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take your metatarsal bone. So imagine this is the front part of your toe and the top part of your toe. And we got to take this front part here where your toe ends, and we got to move that bone up and connect it to the first part. And we're going to suture it together. We're going to remove some more nerves, and then you should be able to walk again in about 2 months. So a month of no walking. So I'm now off that 1 month of no walking into my walking boot again. And yes, I call it my walking boot. And that is how I got in this situation. I slipped on my pants, have had 3 surgeries, a lot of downtime, no walking, and I have sworn off long pants forever. Thank you for viewing, guys.